COMELEC Commissioner Augusto Lagman, the current National Chairman of NAMFREL and the founding Chairman of STI Colleges. So an achievement awardee for IT industry development granted by the UP Alumni Engineers in 2001. So again, let's welcome former COMELEC Commissioner Gus Lagman.
Good afternoon to everybody. I can see that there are some 46 participants. I'm sure that the average age of the other 45 is less than half of my age. I shouldn't really be here anymore. But unfortunately, nandito pa rin. Anyway, you can all see the chart. With those who are using their cell phones, baka masyadong maliit, no? But anyway, I'll be reading the contents of those blocks anyway. Okay, let me start. I'll focus on the upper part of the page first. On the leftmost is the voting period. The voting period starts at 7 o'clock in the morning and ends at, it used to be 3 o'clock. Now it's 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening to be able to accommodate more voters voting. After the voting period, so when they close, the next step will be the counting of the votes. Because the COMELEC is using a vote counting machine, when the voter feeds their ballots into the vote counting machine, the contents of the ballot are automatically stored in the VCM or vote counting machine, and later on, those that the voters shaded will be counted together with the other voters in that particular precinct. So it goes into the vote counting machine. At the end of the counting, the election returns will be printed by there's a printer that's connected to the vote counting machine. Vote counting machine is really just a PC, So may nakakonect lang dyan na printer. So it will print the election returns. The election returns will be transmitted to the city / municipality board of canvassers, where the totals of all the precincts will be tabulated. So if there are 1,000 precincts in that municipality or city, then they will be tabulated in that step. All the positions and all the candidates, the votes that they garnered will be tabulated. After the city municipality board of canvassers, they will transmit what is called the certificate of canvass or COC. Yun ang output ng kanilang tabulation. So their COCs will be transmitted to the provincial board of canvassers. The provincial board of canvassers will tabulate all of the COCs coming from the city municipality board of canvassers in their respective provinces. So you can see, so it goes to an upper level, province na ngayon. So they will tabulate again all the votes garnered by all of the candidates for that particular province. And they will come up with a provincial certificate of canvass or provincial COC. The provincial COCs will now be sent to the National Board of Canvassers. And there are some 70 provinces, including the cities, highly urbanized cities, siguro mga 150. So about 150 COCs will be sent to the National Board of Canvassers. And that's Congress, no? The National Board of Canvassers will then tabulate all of those, and they will come up with the national totals for the national candidates. Of course, the first step, which is the City Municipal Board of Canvassers, they will already proclaim yung mga mayors, vice mayors, councilors. Doon naman sa Provincial Board of Canvassers, they will proclaim the governors, vice governors, and the members of the provincial boards in their particular provinces. So ganun ang sequence yan, no? So I hope that's clear to everybody. One of the things that I believe is very important is that, and that we should recognize, is that when the vote counting machine counts and processes the ballots, it's not transparent. Nobody witnesses the counting. It's not unlike, you know, you insert your ballot, you know, at the bottom of the door, and then some people will tabulate it inside the room. Nobody can enter that room, and then they will bring out, insert actually out, no, the results, which is the election returns. Ganun yun. Nobody sees the counting. No? So that's the process. This is the reason why I'm so much against it, is because of the non-transparency of the process. And this is the reason why I have been recommending that they do a manual count at the precincts. You can now see that black at the bottom, no? Manual and laptop counting. Manual counting of the ballots. It will also produce the same election returns. Okay. The reason I added the laptop counting is, if it's just manual counting and they produce the election returns, they won't be able to transmit the results electronically. And that's the reason why we need that laptop counting, so that at the end of the counting, they can transmit the results of the counting, of the tabulation, electronically. Kaya may laptop. Okay. There's another reason why we're recommending laptop counting, is that we can then connect a projector to the laptop, and it can be projected. Everything that's going on can be projected on a screen for everybody, so the voters can see what's going on. See, so it's completely transparent. Now, there is, of course, a disadvantage in counting the ballots manually. It can take maybe 5 to 12 hours, maybe closer to 5, if they redesign the ballot, redesign the election returns, and come up with some coding. I think they can cut it down to maybe 5 to 7 hours. So by adding 5 to even 12 hours, the elections will be more transparent to the voters. Hindi nakikita ang pagbibilang. Ito, everybody, the voters, can see how they are being counted kasi manual, no? Manual ang pagbibilang. So you can see that you can establish system controls along the way. Unlike with the vote counting machine, it's the machine that counts the ballots, the votes, but nobody sees the counting. Sino ba yung nagbibilang ng votes? It's actually the software of the VCM. Who developed that software? It's the Venezuelans. a team of foreigners. They're not even Filipinos, no? And they're the ones who develop the software. So sila effectively sila yung nagbibilang ng ating mga balota. But we don't know. Of course, there's the source code review. Gusto pang i-restrict yung source code review. Sinasabi ko nga that because it's not transparent, the software must be subjected to unrestricted source code review. Actually, hindi pa rin tayo nakakasiguro doon kasi, okay, so you review the software. Pagdating ng elections, ibang software na pala ginagamit. We won't know because the software can say at 7 o'clock of election day, substitute this other program, software program. Ang dami pwedeng gawin eh. No? So, and that's the reason why I've been against that from the very start. No? So again, like I said, I'd prefer, and the cost to us is only 5 to 12 hours. I would prefer manual counting assisted by a laptop to be so that we can project the counting as it's progressing. Yung taras, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then cross yung taras na ganon, it can be projected on the screen. So nakikita ng mga tao kung anong nangyayari. And then of course, because it's a laptop, the results can be transmitted electronically to the canvassing. First, city municipality, and then transmitted electronically to the provincial board of canvassers, transmitted electronically to the national board of canvassers. So it's a very simple chart. Everybody, I suppose, can understand what I'm trying to impart here. That is our election system. The upper part is what the COMELEC has been implementing from 2010, 2013, 16, and 19. Itong sa baba, yan ang recommendation namin to make our elections transparent. Kasi yung using the vote counting machine, transparency is lost. The moment you automate the precinct counting, you lose the transparency. Meron nga sinasabi yung isang libro, Code Red. Unobservable vote counting is inherently insane. And I agree with them. See, to me, elections is a very important activity in any democratic country. But elections especially, must be transparent. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my presentation. I'd be very glad, very happy to answer questions later. Thank you.
Alamin kung ano ang mga kasalukuyang ginagawa ng Participate. Bumisita lamang sa inclusivedemocracy.ph at i-follow ang aming social media accounts.